The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, guys? How are you? Here we are on a Monday. It is the Bostonian versus the Book. That text message that just came across. Sorry. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to have to give you guys hold on one second. Sorry to come on live. That text just rocked me. Okay. Whew. All right. Sorry. I'll explain here in just 1 second. We're live on YouTube. We are live on our Twitter account at Boston versus the Book here on Monday, July the 28th. Sorry to throw you guys for a loop. I just got a text message that Dave just got taken back to the hospital. So if I'll figure out more information on that, I was going to give you guys an update on that, but I'll give it to you here in just 1 second. But clearly there's a different twist going on today that literally just got text message. His wife, Jessica, just sent me that text like 2 seconds ago. That throws everything up into the air. Whoa. All right. Today was going to be hard anyway. Now today just got a lot harder. So I'll explain what's going on today. We've got a lot to get to. We have the opening line coming up on baseball. We have got a mystery guest coming on, a brigade member. You guys made this request when I threw it out there saying, what can we do differently? What can we add to the show? What can we spice the show up with here during the month of July and August? You guys had said, well, why don't we talk to a brigade member a day? And I thought, okay, I got 5 shows left before I go to Scotland, and we're off for the vacation week of the 3rd to the 10th. So I thought, okay, why don't we do it today? So there's a mystery guest joining us here at about 45 past the hour. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll take a look at a couple of big breaking news stories that literally just broke like a minute ago that came across to us. And it could be a pretty significant story involving a Major League Baseball pitcher that has now also been caught up in the gambling scandal. So we'll get to that. There are some reports around Deion Sanders and his future at Colorado that now has popped off. But let me give you an update just as we start here with what's going on. I don't know how much I can share. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. I don't know really what is okay from the family standpoint. I'm just going to tell you what I think is okay to tell you guys about what's going on with Dave. And for the foreseeable future, this is how the show is going to be. When we talked to Dave last before the surgery, he had said that he was going to effort in every way to return to this program in August 21st and 22nd. We're going to be live at Circa Sports for their Ultimate Football Contest weekend. And Dave had every intention, and he was being told by the doctors that he was going to be able to come back within 30 to 45 days. You heard him say that himself, that they had said to him that, look, they weren't going to treat the cancer, they were going to cure the cancer. That is not the case. And in the wake of all of this, the gravity of all of this has shook me for the last 48 hours. And he's going to be in for a fight, and we got to be there for him. And I want this show to be a beacon for him when he comes back, when he's, to strive to come back. But I think I have to be careful with what I'm saying about Dave coming back. I think I have to reassess that a bit. Okay. About it's not going to be anytime soon. So the show is going to be different, and I have to look at it differently, and I need the help of you guys in the brigade as this program will change. I don't know when Dave comes back, if Dave does come back in 2025. Let's just leave it at that, okay? And the hope is in 26 or beyond at some point, and I'm going to do everything in my power to keep the show alive and keep the show going. But again, this show was not meant to be a solo show. This is meant to be a two-man show. This is meant to be Dave and I doing a show together. And this is not what I ever thought I would be doing. So it is a little uncomfortable for me to talk about this because it's not my story, but I think you guys deserve some level of transparency as to what's going on because you have been there so much and you've been around this so much. But Dave was home in Vegas, and I just got a text message from his wife that they have taken him back to the hospital. I don't know much more besides that. So he obviously is dealing with a lot in the wake of the surgery. There is a lot of heavy decisions to be made by the family about the course of action to take following the surgery, and information that they are still processing and still trying to figure out what the next step is. But from a show perspective, from a BVB perspective, it's going to be just one of the Bs, not two of the Bs anytime soon. And that's about all I'm going to say about it. I know you guys want to know. I think all of us want some level of clarity as to like what's going on, but he's going to need our help, our prayers, our support, our good thoughts, our guys in a fight. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Our guys in a fight, and we need to be there, and we need as much support, and we need whatever you might be. If you are somebody who is if you are religious, and whatever your God is, if you are not, whatever your positive thoughts are, whatever you can do, please try to do it, because I think everything helps, and everything is going to help as he goes into this next phase. I haven't spoken to Dave yet. I've talked to Jessica, his wife, every day. I've been texting with her, but I have not talked to him directly. And what she has told me is that he is having a tough time, and he is emotionally having a tough time as well as physically having a tough time. So this is where we knew the surgery was going to be hard. What was learned after surgery has changed everything, and it's put us into this position where we are now, all of us are in a little bit of state of shock. So we got to figure out how to help him, how to support him. And I'm, 3,000 miles away, about to leave the country for a week and come back in the middle of August. So I'm all over the place emotionally, and I don't know what to do for my friend. And forget the show, forget anything else. I'm ripped apart inside for my show, for my friend. Forget the, BVB is awesome, but I'm trying to be there as any way I can, but it's hard when you're not in the same town and you're this far away on a different coast, 3 hours difference from where he is. So whatever you can do, light a candle, say a prayer, have a positive thought for our guy. It can't hurt. Okay. It can't hurt through the power of positive thought. So I don't mean to start the show off on a crazy note. That text that threw me for a loop. It was going to be hard enough to talk about it as to what the future of this show is going to look like. But then having literally that text message come across as the intro is rolling, that was tough. Okay. So if you have any other questions, my DMs are open at Sports Talk Matt. You guys can go ahead and DM me. It's on the screen. You can, on Twitter X, you can DM me and I'll share with you as much as I can share with you. But for the foreseeable future, this is what this show is going to look like. And I'll do my best. That's all I can say is I'll do my best to give you guys some, break from the real world is what I used to always say. I work in the toy department. I get to talk about things like baseball and basketball and football, and I'm lucky to do so, and I'm happy to do so, and I feel blessed to be able to do that. But doing that in this time, in the wake of what's going on, is hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. So I hope you guys understand, look, the show is going to be different. People are going to criticize. People are going to rip me. People are going to say things that like, this is not what the show is supposed to be. And I understand and I agree. And, I don't know what comes next. Okay. Like, I want the show to be alive for football season. I do. I want the show to be here. I want the show to keep going. But, you know, a guy who literally saved my life is battling, and it's hard. It's hard for me to be here. It's hard for me to be this far away. It's hard for me to be, you know, my daughter is here with me going to summer camp. We're taking them to Scotland. I'm going to an Oasis concert, which I've been looking forward to beyond anything, and like to be in this, you know, world of positivity and being around Amanda and being around the person that I care about the most outside of my daughter and on this planet. You know, to be with her every day is a blessing, because we don't get this. We're doing a long distance relationship. So I see her, if I'm lucky, once a week, or once a month, if I'm lucky. And so to be having, you know, 6 weeks consecutively for us together is really special. And my sister was just married over the weekend. And on the other side, you know, someone who I've spent more time with over the last 5 years, talking, working, traveling, laughing, having just emotion, you know, an incredible time, is not okay. And that's been hard. That's been a really hard thing to deal with and a hard thing to handle. So I'm sorry to ramble and rant, but I'm emotionally, I'm all over the place today. And Amanda asked me, she said, "Do you not want to do the show today?" And I said, "No, I want to do the show today. I got a lot of cool things to talk about after the weekend." And she's like, "Are you able to do the show today?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I had myself in a really good place. And then that text message just came across and said that Dave's been taken back to the hospital. So in Vegas this time, not in LA, but in Vegas this time. So that was like, whoa. And that's all I know. So I'll know more probably after the show coming up today. So again, like I said before, Mystery Brigade guest coming on later on. New segment for us. Brigade member of the day. We'll do that once a show starting today. So stay tuned for coming up for that. A couple of you have asked about the wedding. I'll give you a quick little snippet as to what the wedding was like. It was unbelievable. That is my sister on the left. That's Josh, her new husband, on the right. It was beautiful. The weather was great. It didn't rain. It was perfect. And my sister was gorgeous, and everyone was decked out to the nines. My daughter was in the wedding, and it was, you know, so emotional to see her as part of it. So just a core memory moment for my kid and for me and my kid. And it was just an unbelievable night, and something that I will never forget, and something that I am so blessed to have been a part of, and so thankful to be a part of with my sister and Josh and Josh's family. We had a party here in Manchester the morning after, sort of like a goodbye lunch for everyone who came to the wedding, which was a lot of fun to spend some time. And now Josh and Maggie are now in Puerto Rico on their honeymoon. So they went directly from the wedding to the post-wedding party to the event on Saturday to a plane to Puerto Rico, where they are for the next, I think, 10 days. They're going to be down in Puerto Rico. So super fun event, really beautiful night, and something that I will remember for a very long time. The two breaking news stories that literally popped right before we came on the air, I don't have graphics for it, so I apologize on that. But Deion Sanders has announced and said that he has been dealing with bladder cancer, and he's been dealing with a lot of serious things from this. They discovered the Colorado coaching staff, or medical team, uncovered a cancerous bladder tumor. It was removed successfully. He says he is cured now, but he lost 25 pounds. Deion said that he doesn't know what's happening, but you have no idea how good God has been for me here, talking about what happened in Colorado. So Deion Sanders revealing today that he's got some pretty serious health questions, and there are some reports out there that are saying he may step away for a bit from Colorado. As of right now, he has not stated that he is going to step away, but he might have to step away from coaching. So if anything breaks on that, if we get any further clarification, Deion is still speaking at the moment, but it sounds like he's giving a full breakdown as to what happened, and doesn't sound like he's going to step away, but sounds like he's just saying that's why his health, another person dealing with cancer. But there were some that saying he was going to announce that he was going to step down. That has not happened as of right now. So if that changes, I will, I'll see what happens. But realistically, he's in remission. You can't really say the word cured for Deion's, even though he's using that word saying he's cured, because really it could come back. So as of right now, Deion Sanders is still coaching this year for Colorado, but he did reveal that he was very, very sick, losing 25 pounds. So Deion did battle bladder cancer. The other breaking news is that Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase has been placed on the non-disciplinary paid leave list as part of MLB's sports betting investigation. He is now joining Luis Ortiz as a pitcher in the Guardians organization tied to the gambling scandal. And if Ortiz was innocent, I doubt they would have brought down this on another pitcher. So they aren't suspending him without pay yet. They're not banning him yet. But yes, they are taking him off of the field. So the Guardians in the middle of a chase, trying to make the postseason, not going to catch the Tigers, obviously, but trying to make the playoffs now without their all-star closer in Emmanuel Clase. He is now off the field for the foreseeable future. The Guardians is through August 31st, according to the MLB statement. So it's at least a month and a half until September. So as MLB continues to investigate whether or not Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz were involved in a betting scandal, we don't know what they could have been doing. The thought is that there could be a throwing of a game, a pitch, something to help gamblers, either to pay back debts or something along those lines. So not great, not great at all for Major League Baseball, not great for Class A. Whole thing is not going all that well. CBW is asking, what was the hold percentage on the wedding props? So funny story around that. The wedding prop bet thing went off it was awesome. Basically, half the wedding was involved in it. I gave away $100. So I said, all right, I'll put $100 out. Whoever can fill out the props the best. We got 8 different prop bets. I put them up on screen. I don't have it on screen right now, but I put it on screen. The person who won it was a +1. She wasn't even a family member, but she won because I incorrectly priced the longest speech. And I thought, because my stepfather does not like to talk, I thought the father of the bride speech was going to be the shortest of all the speeches. I thought the best man speech and the maid of honor speech were going to go. I know Josh's brother likes to talk, and he was the best man. So I thought that he might go for a while, really a while. The maid of honor, I thought, could come in because she's known Maggie for a long time, and I thought she could tell a lot of stories. So I was like, okay, the favorite's the best man. We'll go even money on the maid of honor, and we'll make the father of the bride the big dog at 2-1 to have the longest speech. Well, he was the longest speech, and thanks to that, the +1 comes in, and she wins the $100. She actually tried to not take it. I came up, we made the announcement, the DJ made the announcement, and, her name was Alana. Alana, go see Matt. He has your money. And she comes over to me, and she was like, I don't want the money. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's a contest. She's like, yeah, but it's kind of I don't know, I'm a guest of a wedding and you're going to give me $100. And I was just guessing. I was like, well, you guessed right. And she was like, so her boyfriend came over, and her boyfriend was like, you're taking that money, right? And she was like, I don't want it. And he was like, no. She's like, take the money. So I ended up, I gave her the $100, and it was pretty funny. Did Maggie toss the bouquet? No, she did not. That was another one that she got. Maggie did not toss the bouquet. So that was there. So it was a fun night. It was a really fun night, and it was cool. Yes, guessing, join the club 100%. On betting, she just filled it out, and she wound up getting it. So congrats to Alana. She won the $100. Her boyfriend was adamant that she was going to take it, even though she felt a little guilty about it because she was a guest of the wedding. But that was pretty. It wasn't that hot, CBW. It really wasn't that bad. It was. We actually got a break with the weather, and just like we made the joke about my wedding getting a break with the weather, mine was way hotter. My wedding was way humider, way more hot, and I was in a seersucker suit for my wedding. So, yeah, $100 for the bar tab. Sure, it was open bar, though. I mean, nobody was paying for drinks. It was open bar. So it was, it was 100 people, open bar, and they did damage. I mean, Josh and Maggie's friends did some damage. That I left at 10:30. They kept going until 2. My brother, a groomsman named Jake, and a bridesmaid named Anna, they saw the sunrise. They didn't go to sleep. They did. They did the full night. They were up all night, including partying with a front office guy at the hotel who opened up the pool for them to go out and hang out, and he brought them drinks and food, and they were up until. And then my brother somehow, and Jake and Anna, both, all three of them, showed up at my house at the house here for the party, which was pretty good. So, like, no sleep, showing up, not bad. Do what you got to do. Want to party? Go crazy, but you got to do your responsibilities. My little brother took care of that. So, all in all, a very, very fun night for all involved. Let's talk about what happened, or what is happening, with Aaron Judge's injury in the opening line. All right, opening line for us, the American League MVP market. It is absolutely wild what is going on right now for the American League MVP market. It's a 2-horse race. Seattle's Cal Raleigh, Yankees, Aaron Judge. So there are 2 ways of approaching this currently. 1, you can bet Cal Raleigh to win this because Aaron Judge is hurt, and Aaron Judge might not be back anytime soon on the IL 10-day. Yankees think that he avoided any type of ligament damage for the elbow injury he currently has. Or the other way is you're getting incredible value now on Aaron Judge to win the MVP because of what the odds were at one point in time. Get a load of this graph. This is wild as to what we've seen from the AL MVP market. Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh. Look at June 6th, okay? Look at the number. We're talking minus 10,000. That wasn't even as high as certain books had it on June the 6th for Aaron Judge. Cal Raleigh was a big dog, always a big dog. Never did anybody think in June that Cal Raleigh could win the MVP. Now, completely and total different story because of the injury to Aaron Judge's elbow. Now, it's not a season-crushing injury because, according to the Yankees, it is an acute injury to the UCL, which is the ligament you have when you need Tommy John surgery. That's the ligament that gets blown out. Ohtani had it happen. Now, Ohtani is playing this year. For batters, a UCL injury is significant, but it's not like it is for a pitcher. For a pitcher, it's a gigantic issue. You're out for a year plus. For a hitter, you can come back, 6-7 months after surgery, you can come back. This is huge news for this market, however, because you could have gotten Cal Raleigh as high as 10,000 to 1 or plus 10,000. That's $1 to win $100. Let me remind you that at one point in time, some books had Aaron Judge at minus 20,000. That's $200 down to win $1 back from the books. So the question is, Aaron Judge, he is out, but for how long? The pricing is unbelievable. Cal Raleigh just hit his 40th home run over the weekend. More on that stat in 1 second. And now he is the odds-on favorite to win the American League MVP with Aaron Judge at minus 110. Once again, to reiterate, that was minus 20,000 in June. We're now here in late July, and we are way different for the American League MVP race. The question is, would you bet Cal Raleigh at minus 115, or would you take the value play, the CLV if you want, on Aaron Judge? Because if he comes back and has a big month of August and September Aaron Judge will win the MVP. But if Cal Raleigh keeps going with what he is doing, Cal Raleigh became the 5th Mariner to hit 40 home runs in a career. This is Griffey Jr. type stuff. He became just the 7th catcher to hit 40 home runs in the history of Major League Baseball. The Seattle Mariners are right there with a chance to catch the Astros, who are circling the drain. I bet them to win the World Series. A little too early on that bet. Pull the trigger a bit too soon. Get better value right now on the Astros. Still like the Astros if they get healthy to make some noise, but that bet's in trouble. For Cal Raleigh, if the Mariners keep going, if the Mariners keep doing what they are doing, my God, he's going to win the MVP. What liability do the books have on Cal Raleigh? How many people for the hell of it in Seattle, how many people for the hell of it in Vegas just took Cal Raleigh and just said, he's plus 10,000. Take it. $20. Throw it down. $15. It's worth it. If Judge gets hurt, he's going to wind up winning it. Because right now, I can't tell you who wins the American League MVP. I think right now, if the voters were asked to vote today, I think Aaron Judge would still win it. But as we go longer into the year, and if Judge is out or if Judge is ineffective with the injury when he does come back, let's be frank, the Yankees are awful. The Yankees have been one of the worst teams in baseball for the last month. They're horrible. So as the losing mounts for the Yankees, and it looks more and more like they could miss the playoffs. I mean, if they keep going, if they don't pull out of this nosedive, they're going to be in real trouble. They lost 2 or 3 to the Phillies over the weekend. This team is not right now anywhere close to what the Yankee fan thought they were going to look like. And their best hitter, and Stanton for that matter, has done nothing either. So their 2 best hitters have done nothing. If Cal Raleigh and the Mariners catch the Astros and if they win the American League West, there's your MVP. It's Cal Raleigh. Now, I wouldn't say bet Cal Raleigh right now, though, because you could have gotten a price so much better. It's like we're getting in at the bottom versus the top. But you are getting in for the bottom on Aaron Judge. If I was going to bet it, I wouldn't bet Cal Raleigh, but I might bet Aaron Judge to win the MVP. Now, again, it's a danger bet. It's a risky bet. All bets are risky, but this one's really risky because of Judge's history when it comes to injuries. But if it is not that big of a deal, if Aaron Boone and the Yankees are telling the truth that he dodged a major bullet and that there's no real serious damage to the ligament and he should be fine when he comes back, maybe taking 10 days off is going to be a good thing. Maybe he's able to kind of deal a little bit with the whole thing. Maybe he's able to, just take a breath, come back, refocus, and then takes off. If he takes off, we might be going, man, we could have gotten minus 110 on Aaron Judge to win the MVP. That was a gift. So I wouldn't bet Cal Raleigh, but I might go ahead and bet as ND9 Go Irish is reporting, DraftKings is even money. Minus 110, even money. May not be a bad idea to jump on here to take Aaron Judge to win the American League MVP, given the prices. Because again, at one point in time, that bet was minus 20,000. And now that bet is even money. Oh boy, how things have dramatically changed in Major League Baseball. All right, what happened last night? Couple of quick ones. Ichiro now into the Hall of Fame. He does decide to call out that one writer who decided not to put him in the Hall of Fame. I would agree. Ichiro, by the way, the offer for that writer to have dinner at my house has now expired. He offered the one guy to come in to have dinner at Ichiro's house to talk about why he did not put Ichiro into the Hall of Fame. Only one voter did not do that. And that voter is still unknown, by the way. We don't know who actually did not vote for Ichiro. The guy, if he's not a Hall of Famer, we don't need the Hall of Fame anymore. Like, we should literally take it down if Ichiro Suzuki is not a Hall of Famer, we shouldn't have a Hall of Fame. So I need to know. Everyone wants to know. And then that person should never be allowed to vote ever again for the Hall of Fame. But that was funny to see him drop that. The Dodgers lost 2 of 3 to the Red Sox. LA is now 26-24 on the road. The Dodgers don't beat good teams. And I'm not saying the Red Sox are a good team, but they're in the conversation for one. They don't beat teams with an over 500 record. Losing 2 of 3 to the Yankees, to the Red Sox. Red Sox come home after losing 2 of the 3 to the Cubs and the Phillies, and then beat the Dodgers coming from behind, by the way, on a 2-run home run by Alex Bregman to win the game 4-3 yesterday. Huge win for the Red Sox. Huge win, huge series win for the Red Sox, and really puts them in a position where they have to be buyers at the deadline later on this week. Like, they have no choice. They must look to add. They want a frontline starting pitcher. They're not going to give up Jared Duran for it, but they're going to give up prospects to go and get it. We'll see what teams. Are the Twins going to be the team? They're playing the Twins today. Are the Twins the team the Red Sox will deal with for Joe Ryan? Very, very possible. Paul Skeens was dominant again yesterday. Pirates win the game 6-0 for a win for Paul Skeens. He hasn't had many of those, but he was great. 9 Ks in 7 innings for Paul Skeens as he continues to just put a stranglehold on the National League Cy Young Award. It's his unless he gets hurt. Like, it's as easy as that. It's his unless he gets hurt. The other major news in Major League Baseball is the report that came out about 2 hours ago that Rob Manfred got ripped by Bryce Harper as he's been going to clubhouse to have like a State of the Union address type of thing with all the players about what's happening from the labor perspective. And as Rob Manfred began talking about a salary cap, Bryce Harper turned around and told him to get the F out of the clubhouse. Like, the commissioner of baseball was told to basically pack your bags and get the hell out of here. I don't want you here. We don't want you here. If you're going to talk about a salary cap, we're not interested. We're not interested. We don't want to hear it, and get out. And Manfred, to his credit, turned around and said, I will not get the bleep out of here. I need to talk about the state of the entire sport and where we are and what's happening and what's going to happen down the pike. The players, according to Bryce Harper, the players are ready to hold out and not play for an entire season, that they are stockpiling money, that they are going to be ready for when they get locked out. They're not going to play because they do not believe a salary cap is something they will be on board with. Again, baseball is the only team, the only sport of all the majors without a salary cap. And so there may be a salary floor that might be the compromise. And I would say, if I was a baseball player, that's the compromise I would look to make. If you were going to tell me, well, you want a cap, well, that's fine. I want a floor. I want something along the lines of a minimum amount of money that an owner has to spend on a team, because you can't just take the dollars and put it in your pocket. You can't just do what some of these small market teams have done because of revenue sharing. It doesn't work. It's insane. And so if I'm looking at that from a Bryce Harper perspective or for an MLB perspective, I'm saying that's fine. You want to cap. Well, here's the number we're willing to work with, percentage of overall revenue, whatever you want to come up with. But I want a floor. You must spend $100 million, $200 million, whatever it might be, on a baseball team to be a manager. So there we go. Thank you, CBW. Dion will coach. So thank you for that on that. Ian lights out. Good job. He's got a plus 550 ticket on Cal to win the MVP. Good. Like it a lot. I like that. I like that play a lot. So I just think fans don't want to hear this. Okay. Fans don't want to hear millionaires fighting with billionaires, but fans will laugh at Bryce Harper cussing out Rob Manfred. Fans will. And I guarantee you, I don't know if the Phillies are at home tonight. If they are, Bryce Harper's getting a standing ovation for that, because fans, look, everybody hates the commissioner in every sport, but Rob Manfred kind of has a special place in a lot of people's hearts. A lot of people really do not like Rob Manfred. Let's make some plays. All right, just the picks time. Let's get into it here and talk a little bit of a curveball. I'm going to talk about the Braves and the Royals. Did you know that the Braves are 9-1-2 to the over their last 12 games? It's a little bit of an anomaly because the Braves had been one of the better under teams this year in Major League Baseball. And let's be frank, the Royals don't score, right? But it's Rich Hill against Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider on the road is not a good pitcher. 4.55 ERA, a 1-4 record. The opposing batting average is weird. It's 198, but 16 earned runs and 31 innings worth of work for Spencer Strider. And he's facing Rich Hill, who is basically my age. He's 45 years old, 14th team with the Royals. In his first start in a 6-0 loss to the Cubs, he gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 5 innings. Wasn't awful, but the defense didn't do him any favors. But the Braves hit left-handed pitching, and this game, I think, will wind up going over. The Braves offense has been hot, and they're facing a pitcher that now they'll have some tape on him and some film on him. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I need the Royals to score 3 runs. That's going to be like, I need the Royals to score 3 runs on this. If that happens, I think we're good. I think we'll wind up going over. Second play, I'm going real contrarian here. I'm taking the Miami Marlins. If you remember back at the All-Star break when our friend from the Action Network, Evan Abrams, put out the stats from the first half of the season, he pointed out that the Miami Marlins were the number 1 team from a profitability standpoint as a dog this season. They were basically a 500 team when they were dogs. They got walked off yesterday by Milwaukee, but the Marlins have been playing pretty good baseball. And the Cardinals, I like the Cardinals. I'm on their win total over 75 or 76.5, but they've got 54 and they're starting to leak oil a little bit, and they're starting to make me a little concerned. They lost 2 of 3 at home to the Padres, and yesterday they got killed 9-2. They split that series 2 games apiece. They won the first two games. Those are 4-game series, not a 3-game series. But so 2-2 to the Padres. On the flip side, the Marlins took 2 of 3 on the road against Milwaukee, and they got walked off yesterday. The Marlins are hot. The Marlins are playing well, and Edward Cabrera goes today for the Marlins. And on the road, fine, 4.35 ERA, 1-2 record, 15 earned, and 31 innings worth of work. But he's been decent on the road. His last road start was not good. He gave up in 4 innings, 4 earned runs in a 5-2 loss. But then he went 5 1/3, 2 earned runs against San Francisco, 3 innings, 2 earned runs against Washington. I'm not sure what happened in that game, but he came out of the game after 3 innings. He went 5 2/3, no earned runs on the road against the Angels. So on the road, Cabrera hasn't been bad. Last start at home against San Diego, 5 2/3, 1 earned run. Give me the bats of the Marlins. I'll take the Marlins here to get a W. I like Miami. Win the game. You should get plus money on this. Current prices have this. I got like plus 1. I got to see what 105, 110. I got on this. It's even money now. So it's even money. A lot of money came in on the Cardinals. Cardinals opened up as a pretty big favorite, down to minus 120 on the Cardinals. It flipped. Miami was favored at one point. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it looks like what I'm looking at right now says the Miami Marlins were favored at one point, but basically even money now. I got plus money on the Miami Marlins money line to win today on the road at the Cardinals. Let's make a prop bet. Roger Long, who is I believe a Cardinals fan. Cards and Marlins both stink. Disagree with that. I don't think the Marlins stink. Not right now. They don't stink. Taking 2 out of 3 from the Brewers is pretty good. And that's kind of the game we go to because the Cubs and the Brewers are starting a series tonight. And I think this is awesome to see. Brewers are throwing Jacob Misiorowski, Matthew Boyd going for the Cubs today. Both teams with identical 62 and 43 records. And once again, the books are going to hang a number that's too good to be true. Over a half a base. So just 1 hit for Pete Crow Armstrong. If you remember last week, we bet this a bunch of times last week with PCA. I know I bet it 3 times personally, but I think for the show, for the prop bet of the day for BVB, we did it 3 times, and all 3 times it hit. Going back to last week to the Yankee game before the All-Star break, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of 9 games, Pete Crow Armstrong has gone over a half a base. We just need a single. That's all we need for PCA. That's it. I get it. I know who he's facing. Mizorowski's tremendous. The bullpen's good. But I just need PCA, who is the best player for the Cubs, a guy who has gone over on this in almost in every game but one. The only game he didn't hit this during since the All-Star break is back on the 25th of July against the White Sox, where he didn't get a hit. He went 0 for 3 with scoring with a walk and a run. But he just gets a single, and we get PCA over. It's minus 150. I'm not. It's cheap. There are books that have already gone, by the way, to 1.5. You can do 1.5 at plus money if you want. I'm not sure I'd recommend that, but PCA over a half total bases. I like that play a lot. Again, you only pay the juice when you lose. So pay the juice, jump on it. PCA tonight to get a hit. Bet365's got that price at the moment. If you're looking for which book I found that at, you'll go get that. I bet at I always bet half units on this. I don't bet on props. I rarely, unless it's like the NBA for the daily juice when we got super hot and really in a zone, I tend to stay away from full unit plays on prop bets. That's just me. So bet whatever you want. Bet whatever makes you feel comfortable. But for me, it's a half a unit. So it's pretty, I mean, you're going to lay 0.75 to win a half a unit coming back. So you're basically almost laying a unit to take that juice, unless you want to bet plus money on it. And that, let's see what that price is right now. If you go plus 1.5 runs, plus 1.5 total bases is plus 140, plus 160, 155. So the books that have gone to over 1.5 total bases have already given you some pretty good prices. So if you think he gets 2 hits or a double or triple or a home run tonight for PCA, maybe a different way of approaching that. If you want to bet a half a unit at plus money, maybe that's one way you want to do it, or bet the full unit at minus 150 if you like him to get a hit here coming up for tonight. Time for the Circus Sports Pro Football Story of the Day. Circus Sports with the Ultimate Football Contest weekend coming up on August 21st and 22nd. BVB will be live from this. We'll be there for 2 hours, broadcasting live the Ultimate Football Contest weekend for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, to highlight Circa Million and Circa Survivor, both football contests going off. $1,000 entries, 5 games against the spread for millions. Survivor, it's pick one winner for 20 weeks. That's 18 weeks in the NFL, plus an extra week for Christmas and for Thanksgiving, Black Friday. You can enter in Nevada and hire a proxy to play from anywhere. Multiple ways to win, but always no rake on this. All the money picked up goes right back into the contest. So we could have more than just 6 million and more than just 15 million available for Circa Survivor and Circa Million. For more information, log on to circusports.com. This is an interesting story. With Matthew Stafford hurt, we now have an interesting situation going on in LA. According to the head coach of the Rams, with Matthew Stafford out, Jimmy Garoppolo is the starting quarterback for the LA Rams. Sean McVay making that news yesterday. As Stafford deals with a back injury, Jimmy G is the starting quarterback for the Rams. And would he actually get playing time this year? Could he actually be out there as the quarterback? I mean, this is why you do this. This is why you bring in veterans that have experience that can quarterback your team, because if your star goes down, you then can turn around and look at Jimmy Garoppolo. And look, as a Patriot guy, I don't have the hatred that Jimmy Garoppolo haters have. I mean, there's a lot of people who absolutely hate Jimmy Garoppolo. They think he's awful. They think he can't play. According to Sean McVay, obviously, we feel so fortunate to have someone like Matthew leading the way, but Jimmy's done a great job. I think he's shown good command the first couple of days. I've always thought he was a high caliber player. So Mike LaFleur, offensive coordinator, worked with Garoppolo when he arrived in San Francisco from the trade from 2017 to 2020. So quote, I mean, he's a proven, very good quarterback in this league. You gotta be careful on how you describe Garoppolo, right? He's a proven, very good quarterback in this league. But there are people that absolutely hate him. There are people absolutely. Well, we know this. Yes, Devontae Adams is not like Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, he made it very known during the filming of the quarterback. That's true. And that's true. I mean, with the Raiders, it didn't work. Raider fans hate him. Like if you're a Raider fan, you hate Jimmy Garoppolo. You think that dude is absolute trash. And I have a hard time arguing that you don't have a case to be made given what he looked like with the Raiders. They gave him a lot of money and he did not deliver at all. But I don't know. I'm not so sure I want to throw him under the bus the same way everyone else wants to, as being a former Patriot guy, or being a Patriot guy, him being a former Patriot quarterback. If he's a quarterback for week 1, week 2, until Stafford comes back, there are worse backup quarterbacks in the NFL if you're a Rams fan to go with Jimmy Garoppolo, and we'll see if he winds up being the quarterback for Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, I teased this at the top of the show. This is a new thing we're going to do for this week. It's a mystery brigade member of the day. So today, tomorrow, we're going to bring you guys onto the screen, onto the show to talk about what's going on, to talk about really whatever you want to talk about. And you guys can literally throw out picks, plays. If you want to be a mystery brigade member of the day, you can send me an email at askthebvb@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Twitter. You also can text the show at 702-570-8255, and maybe you'll be selected to come on in. We begin. I was like, who should be one? And I was like, all right, this is easy. This is Addison. Addison joining BVB. What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, Matt. Doing well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for doing this. This is a lot of fun. This is your second appearance on the show, or third?
I don't know. Probably second or third. One of those two, you know.
How are things?
Oh, things are good. I mean, the start of the show definitely bummed me out as well with the news about Dave and everything. Yeah. But everything outside of that, I can't really complain. Most of everybody in my family and friends are relatively healthy, and so anytime that is the case in your life, it's sometimes hard to complain about the smaller things.
Right. Is it wild that you're associated with one type of bet? Like, it's not just this show, it's multiple shows, it's the Discord, it's not just the BVB Discord, it's the Daily Juice and Betting Pros Discord. Like, you are associated with one type of bet.
Yeah, it's my favorite bet, and it's just it's so entertaining. I don't recommend. It's not a good way to make money. I don't think I'm up on the goal in first 10, but it's my favorite bet for sure. It's very entertaining.
When did you first bet? Is it like I know for at least three hockey seasons you've been betting it, but when did you first play it?
Yeah, it was about 3 or 4 seasons ago. Nate Lundy. He does a
okay, nice. I know Nate. Yes.
Yep. Nate Lundy. He did a show with Brad Evans, who I'm a big fan of as well. And he started talking about this hockey bets, and he called him a gift, a goal in first 10. And I was like, that kind of sounds fun. And it was mostly the reasoning behind it. He's like, what was it? It was probably like, the Islanders have a no goal in first 10 in like 12 games straight, or, or it was the Oilers who have a goal in first 10 in 12 games straight. So it was like those streaks, which I enjoy betting, really turned me on to it. And it's just exciting too. It's like the first 10 minutes of the game, it's all you're betting on. And then there's so much that really happens after that. If there's not a goal in the first 10, there's a really good chance there's going to be a goal in the next 10. And then if there's not a goal in the first period, well, we all know what that is, second period over. So it's just kind of a fun way to bet hockey.
Do you, or did you use the amazing spreadsheet that one of your fellow brigade members has made in Chris Otto? Did you use it before? Do you use it now? Where do you get your information when it comes to which bets to make?
Yeah, finding Chris Otto and meeting him and everything has been great. And I use his sheets, and then I also use some other sheets from the guys in the Betting Pros chats.
Oh, good.
They took kind of took what auto was doing, but broke it down even more into home and away splits. And then also took into consideration goalies. I think goalies is sort of an underrated, undervalued way of capping hockey. So I would kind of combine Otto's stuff and then this guy's other stuff and then also just stuff that I see elsewhere, see what Nate Lundy's betting on. And
very cool. All right, before we let you go, I'm going to give you free reign. Give me your F1 breakdown. You always want F1. Here's your shot. Where are we F1? I don't know where the race is this week. I don't know what the bets are. Floor is yours. What are we doing F1 wise?
All right. So the race yesterday was kind of a disappointment. It was supposed to rain. It did rain, but the race director decided to delay everything until there was never going to be any more rain. And so F1 can be a very tricky thing to bet, not just because of things like that, but because it takes one small rock in the track to pop a tire, and your plus 200 bet is whatever is just gone, evaporated because it's so small. But this week we are in Hungary, and Hungarian and Hungarian Grand Prix, Hungary, and
what city are they in Hungary? Do you know?
I want to say
can I name a city
outside? It's probably outside Budapest, I think.
Okay, there we go, Budapest. Okay, sure. All right.
F1 is great for geography if you want to learn geography.
Right?
I'm terrible with geography, but I've become a little better over the years.
Right. That's great. Who wins? Because it's not Max. It's not Verstappen anymore. Like it's not the rinse and repeat thing. He's got big trouble with his team. Who's that?
It's McLaren.
So you like what?
McLaren
the cars
are
McLaren, but they are. Yeah. So who wins the Hungary Grand Prix?
I'm not going to give you a bet for who wins because I'm terrible at that. I don't even bet win. I don't even bet teams and sides in hockey. That's the thing. I don't bet sides or totals in hockey. I'm just terrible at it. I know I'm bad at it. And if I pick one team, the other team's going to win. So what I like to do in F1 is some different markets. But there's not a whole lot available right now because the race isn't until Sunday, and we had a race yesterday. So books are just kind of now starting to throw stuff. But I think I did find a good value play. I'll try to be brief with it, but so if you're not familiar with auto racing, typically there's qualifying, and that's how you decide the starting grid for a race. So, who starts in first, second position, third, fourth, on down. So for the qualifying in Hungary, I'm going to go with McLaren to be the winning team. Juicy, minus 190, minus 190, but it's either McLaren racer. And I think it's going to be Piastri or it's going to be Norris to win qualifying. Now, if you want to hedge that a little bit, I think the other person could be Max. And Max Verstappen, and he's plus 500. So you could go minus 190 plus 500. I think you have a really good chance of hitting one of those two bets, but I'm just going to go with the minus 190. And that's on DraftKings. It's minus 350 on MGM. So there's a lot of value there. Yeah.
All right. A little CLV on this as well. Listen, I know you and I talk off air too, but thank you for everything you've done. You've been awesome. We love meeting you. We love having you in the chat. We love corresponding with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the brigade. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for all you do. And Dave, if you're watching, we love you, and we'll talk soon.
Amen. That's Addison, everybody, joining us. It's the Mystery Brigade member of the show of the day. We'll do more tomorrow. You guys requested it. You wanted it. We're going to do more of it. One a day here. We're going to give you guys a Mystery Brigade member of the day. Addison starts us off. We'll do it tomorrow, same time tomorrow on the show for BVB. Time for our college team of the day. Ooh. This is a little bit of a teaser for tomorrow's mystery guest of the day. Let's talk about Michigan. Brigade Proxy Service, you guys can text us 702-570-8255 to book an appointment. I cannot sign you up until I get back to Vegas, which will be on August the 11th. So if you're coming to town before that, you can text me. I'll get you in touch with somebody who is in Vegas right now to get you signed up. Obviously, the Sherapan family is not able to do this, so it's going to be me. I'm going to sign you guys up coming up here in when I'm back, August the 11th, 702-570-8255, or go to the website, thebvbshow.com. Our team of the day is Michigan. Win total is set at 9.5. Everything is around this kid, Bryce Underwood, number 1 recruit in the 2025 class. Comparisons to Cam Newton. Is this kid going to be able to take Michigan as a true freshman? Can this kid go on the road to places like Nebraska and win? Because that's the biggest question. Because arguably Michigan is going to have the best defense in the Big Ten. And look at the schedule. Where's Penn State? Where's Penn State? There's no Penn State. There's no Penn State. Where's Oregon? There's no Oregon. Heck, even Indiana. Give me the Hoosiers. There's no Hoosiers on this schedule. Look at the schedule in the Big Ten. At Nebraska, home for Wisconsin, at USC, home for Washington. Tough game, but Washington. At Michigan State, home for Purdue, at Northwestern, at Maryland, and they get the Buckeyes at home at their place, where they haven't lost in forever to Ohio State. That's the Super Bowl of college football this year in a lot of ways, in the regular season at least. Because if Ohio State can't win that game, ruh-roh. The Oklahoma game is tasty. Michigan at Oklahoma. Hello. Can we talk about that game for a second? Because, look, been to Oklahoma. That Boomer Sooner song is annoying as hell. A true freshman in his second start ever going on the road to Oklahoma is uh-oh-ville all over the place. Like, that is, oh my. Because, yes, Coach Moore's got a defense. They're going to be ferocious on defense. Their offensive line is going to flip and maul people. Like, they got a really good offensive line. Their wide receivers, okay. They're going to run the ball. They're going to pound the rock and play defense. That travels, okay? Defense, running games. That travels. This is no Penn State and no Oregon is criminal. I don't think Michigan's a fraud, Football Guy 97. I do think the schedule, though, is awesome if you're a Michigan fan. You are in love with this schedule. 9.5 wins. Can they win 10? Where are the losses? Let's just say they lose to Oklahoma, okay? Lose to Oklahoma and lose to Ohio State. If they win everything else, that team's going 10-2, and we got plus money on the Wolverines. They're going to destroy New Mexico. We know that. They're going to beat Central Michigan. We know that. So the question is, in the non-con, can they go 2-1 or 3-0? If they go 3-0, I think we got a really good shot at going over, and it's plus money. But you're betting on a freshman that we don't know much about. Now, again, Bryce Underwood might be amazing. JPC the fourth. We ain't losing to Ohio State. All right. By that time, the kid ain't a freshman anymore. Okay. So I'll give you that. Sure. Yes. By the time we get to Ohio State, Bryce Underwood's not a freshman. So that's gigantic. Undefeated season possible, according to Ish. Michigan runs the table. I don't think you're wrong, by the way. I don't think you're wrong. When you look at the schedule, I don't think you're wrong. The schedule is something to behold. It's actually stunning that Michigan, look at their odds. Look at Michigan's odds when it comes to the Big Ten. They are 10-1 to win the Big Ten. If you think they can win every game in the Big Ten and beat Ohio State, they got to win the Big Ten championship, obviously. So, but they'll be in the game, and then you can hedge off of this. I think Michigan 10-1 to win the Big Ten is an awesome bet. I think the best bet on this board right here that I'm showing you guys is Michigan to win the Big Ten at 10-1. Just get to the game. Get into the championship game, most likely a rematch with Ohio State, and you have a chance to cash a 10-1 ticket or hedge off of it and basically pick how much profit you want to make. I think that's a really, really good play. Can you bet for an undefeated season? Yes. Multiple books will let you do that. Yes, you can bet undefeated if you want to bet that. Should be plus money. Should be good plus money on that. Heck, if it's plus 138 on over 9.5 wins to go 12-0, it's got to be 4-1, 5-1, somewhere in that range. 100%. 100% jump on that for that. Michigan's got 2 cupcakes and then the road trip to Oklahoma. Oh boy. But Michigan at 10-1 to win the Big Ten, I like it a lot. Again, strictly from a hedge perspective, but you may not have to hedge it. You may have it right there in front of you to be able to jump on it. If they beat Ohio State again, oh my, you aren't getting 10-1, put it that way. It's not going to be a 10-1 line for Michigan in the Big Ten championship game if they get there. So I think there's great value in that. And just looking at the schedule, again, it's that high because of Bryce Underwood and the fact that he's a freshman. That's why. We have more coming in bonus time. If you guys are watching the show live, don't move. If you're on the replay crew on SiriusXM or on Sports Grid TV, thank you for being with us. I appreciate all of you for being here. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place for BVB. The rest of you, we continue with bonus time. Okay. Couple things we can say now in bonus time now that we've let go of the Sports Grid folks. I'm really sorry for how that show started. That was like, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. I don't know how, like that was probably not something I was supposed to say, but literally as I hit live and the show was rolling and the intro was rolling, that text came across. So I don't know anything. So I'm sorry to be sort of an alarmist. Hopefully it wasn't that big of a deal. And hopefully it was just a precautionary thing with Dave. I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened, but that was scary as shit to get that. And to be like, hey, by the way, we've had to take Dave back to the hospital. Wait, what? So I don't know really anything else. So that was a very rocky start to the show and not very professional. So I do apologize to you guys for that. It's not how I do things. So that was not expected, put it that way. That was a big time curveball. If I find out anything, I'll pass it along tomorrow or in the Discord channel. But everything I said was planned. You know, I don't expect Dave back in 2025. Okay, I don't expect him to come back in the year. We thought he'd be back on August 21st, 22nd. I don't expect him back in the year of 25. I don't expect Dave back. If he is, it's unbelievable. It would be awesome. It would be absolutely awesome if that happens. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be possible because what's going on right now is pretty awful. So, hopefully everything will figure itself out. But it's a scary time for a lot of us who care about Dave and hope to have him back with us doing silly shit like this, talking about sports and football and whatnot. So, the show will stay for 1 hour. I mean, we're in bonus time. We'll stay, hour and 10, somewhere in that range. We'll stay with that as what we normally do for the foreseeable future. I got to figure out what the fall looks like in terms of guests. I love that we've got guys like Debro coming on, and we'll lean a little more heavily on the betting pros people just because it's who I work with on the other side of my job. So we'll lean on those guys, trying to get them on as much as possible. But I like the weekly hits. Hopefully you guys tend to as well. I love Emerson, but we'll just gotta sprinkle Emerson in once in a while. I do want to give you guys a little bit more info, more bettable info is what my goal is. Actionable info as they call it. So I want to try doing more of that to give you guys plays that you can take and use for games. Monday, Thursday, and Friday are really going to be big football days, like heavy betting football days for the show. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll get more into like the silly type of stuff. But like opening lines are going to be a lot of my favorite bets. Like opening lines in football season will be really about like what I'm doing, what I'm betting on those things. So, we'll have some fun with that. Tuesday, Wednesday shows, I'm not really sure what we'll do yet, but Monday, Thursday, Friday, expect to be heavy. There's two things I kind of have come down to, and I've made kind of opinions on. I've made kind of a decision on. The first of which is that Roll Call Friday stays away until Dave returns. I don't feel good about it. It's his thing. It's what he loved to do. You guys gravitated towards, so you guys loved it. So I think we might sprinkle it in once in a while. We may bring it back like once every couple of months. To kind of honor Dave and rally with Dave, but like having it be done consistently, that probably is not going to happen. And the second is I don't want to work with anybody else. Like I have thought about this. I have talked about all sorts of different things about what's happened, and thought about having somebody sit in with me and do the show with me. And I just don't think it's right. I don't feel good about it. I don't want anyone else in that chair. That's Dave's chair. And until Dave comes back, that chair stays empty. And we're not going to put anybody else as being a 5-day-a-week co-host. Occasionally, there will be co-hosts, 100%. Like there'll be days where I throw somebody on for a big football game and we talk about just that one game for the whole show. Yes, there's going to be days like that we will have. Football playoffs, things along those lines, like in January and whatnot, for sure. But to have somebody co-host the show, no, I'm not okay with it. I don't think it's right. So that won't happen. Football guy's asking about Pam Maldonado. I love Pam. I absolutely think she's tremendous. I've had a friendship with her for a while. I think she is great, and she is one of the few people that I have, kept in touch with for whenever she left Vegas. I kept in touch with her. When she's come back to town, I've grabbed coffee with her. I think she's a tremendously smart, intelligent, really witty poker thinker, which helps her in the gambling space. The analytical way that she approaches things, I love. ESPN was brilliant to hire her and to give her the platform that they have. So sure, she's just really busy. I would love to get Pam on. She's just really busy. So she's been going all over the place. She was at a Blue Jays game last week. Yeah. And then she did a hit from her hotel room on SportsCenter. I saw that on Instagram that she did that. So huge fan of hers. So yeah, people like that. Absolutely. You guys can recommend, hey, go get these guests. It's just that Pam's busy. For her to do a weekly hit with us would be somewhat difficult, I think, for that to happen. Time for the news of the industry. I made mention earlier in the show about Rob Manfred going around to team, and he got yelled at, screamed at, cussed out by Bryce Harper of the Phillies. Well, another story is also making news as a Red Sox pitcher, and Lucas Giolito told the commission he is worried that a player is going to be killed due to the threats being levied against MLB players from prop betting and fantasy sports. This is a little bit on the alarmist side. This is a little bit on the okay side. He told Rob Manfred that he is worried a player is going to get assaulted or killed by a fan over gambling. Now, we know guys get all sorts of awful things in their DMs. Like we know that players are we've seen it with the Red Sox. Jared Duran's father passed away, and we saw fans heckling him at Fenway Park over it. Just awful, okay? Just horrible things. Do I think a fan can do what was the Robert De Niro movie with the Giants? Was called The Fan. I can't remember the name of the movie, where De Niro played the psychotic fan that was obsessed with a player. Do I think that's possible over sports betting? Sure. Human beings lose their mind and do crazy things all the time. And it was called The Fan. Thank you. Okay. It was called The Fan. I think there's a lot of crazy people in the world that could do awful things. Do I think we take away sports betting and fantasy sports because of it? No. Do I think we need to be safe and have security and make sure that no one gets close to players? Yeah, absolutely. Should we have maybe some beefed up security? Sure. Do I think someone gets killed, assaulted? I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. But I'm not going to overreact as well. And granted, one player getting hurt or one player, God forbid, getting killed would be horrendous. But I don't think it would be gambling's fault if that were to happen. I think it would be that person individually, that person being Looney Tunes, So like, I get it. it would be horrible if it happened. And it would be disgusting if it ever happened. But I wonder, are we just being too crazy? Are we overreacting? Are we losing our minds a bit on all of this? So I get what Lucas Giolito's saying, but to tell the commissioner to go, hey, I think someone might get killed. Okay. I mean, the commissioner knows, obviously. It's not like he hasn't been said. They haven't thought about this at the commissioner's office, but I think Giolito's being a little bit over the top when it comes to all of this. But time for my favorite thing about today. Well, hard. This is a hard topic because there's not a lot of happiness at the moment, but I'm just going to try to say it and go back to what I started the show with if you missed that. My sister's wedding over the weekend on Friday. Thursday, it's why the show was off on Friday. Her and her husband Josh now they're on their honeymoon in Puerto Rico, but you know, the one thing I have learned, the one thing that we've always known this, right? Always forward, never straight. And I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I'm going to tattoo that on my body. I don't know yet. I've been trying to come up with this. It took me to get that tattoo. It took me about 3 years to come up with some idea of how to do it. I don't like words. Like words on tattoos, I'm not a very big fan of, even though I do have my daughter's name tattooed on my body. So like that's the only word that I want tattooed on my body. That's the first time she ever wrote her name when she was 3 years old. So that's the only word that I put on there, but always forward, never straight. And in the tattoo sense will be on my body at some point in the near future. I don't know when, but at some point. And Amanda had a pretty cool idea, and I'm thinking, hey, there we go. Everyone's doing this. Daniel, that was Amanda's point. Get a curved arrow. Yes. I need to be in some form or fashion. I need it drawn. If anyone's an artist and you want to do a arrow representing always forward, never straight, it's going to go right here. That's where that's going to go on my body. So I already know where I'm getting it tattooed, and I'm going to be excited to do that, to put that. But sitting there, my sister, I didn't know my sister was going to do this. And I'd never seen this at a wedding before. My sister lost her grandfather on her dad's side and both grandparents on her mom's side. Mine, we have a different dad, but our maternal grandparents are the same. And my grandfather not being at the wedding, my grandmother not being at the wedding, even though they both died a long time ago, was still really sad because they would have loved the wedding. They would have loved that environment. They would have loved to watch my sister walk down the aisle. And so it was sad to see them. And then I immediately just started thinking about family and started thinking about the time that we're given and how at 48 years old, I'm sitting in the middle of my life by most human standards and thinking about all the things that I'm getting to do and all the blessings that I have and how fortunate I have, and thinking about the battle that, a guy that gave me so much time, what he's going through and what he's battling and what he's dealing with. And, I wish that we could give him the strength. I wish we could give him the help that he needs to fight, to go through this. And it's just a very strange place to be. It's a very strange place for me to be here, sitting here. And as I said earlier in the show, I don't get to see the woman I'm in love with much. And that's really hard. And it's, I'm in Vegas. She's in New Hampshire. She's been willing to do this for almost 2 years now with us, being on different coasts and me getting on airplanes and her getting on airplanes and flying. And, when you spend this much time together that we have this summer, like August the 10th, we're going to say goodbye to each other at the airport. I'm going to go to Vegas. She's going to go to Boston, and it's going to be like ripping me apart. And so time is really on my mind, and trying to do as much with the time that I am given, trying to figure out what comes next for my daughter, who on the East Coast this summer, my daughter has blossomed and done incredible things. And it's been such a good cathartic thing. And I love Vegas. She loves Vegas. But like my life is now sort of here, and it'll go back to Vegas, and the show will go back to where it normally is. And you'll see the normal backdrop and everything else. And it's just a real tough place in my brain at the moment. I'm in a weird spot. And so I do apologize for if I'm sounding rambling and not making much sense these next couple of days or whatnot, but vacation's coming at a good time. Let's just say that. I need a week to kind of reset everything. So thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for being a part of this show. I really do appreciate it. It's been today's been tough. The weekend's been tough, but hopefully everything goes on. And yeah, I've heard really bad things, JC from KC. Happy Gilmore. So I put it on Twitter earlier today. I'll watch the movie and then I'll put the pictures, but I had Shooter McGavin in my studio 9 years ago here in Las Vegas. I had Shooter in studio for an interview on my radio show, and he was unbelievable. Like, he was awesome. That was way before I ever thought about doing Happy Gilmore 2, but he was super fun. So his mom, Adam Sandler's mother, lives literally 200 yards from where I'm sitting. Like 200 yards from where I'm sitting is Adam Sandler's boyhood home, where his mom still lives today. So I'm looking forward to watching Happy Gilmore 2. I heard it's awful. I heard it's absolutely awful. So I'm excited to watch it, just to give it a watch and kind of figure it out. But yeah, Happy Gilmore 2, it's pretty wild that we see Happy Gilmore's mom, we see Adam Sandler's mom all the time, gardening all the time. So like when we walk the dog, we walk Amanda's dog, we'll see her outside gardening. So it's like, that's Adam Sandler's mom. It's just very common. And when he comes back, there is a elementary school at the end of the street where Amanda's son goes, where Adam Sandler went, and he's often spotted playing basketball at the schoolyard with the kids who go to school there. So it's pretty cool. His whole family is in it. Okay, that's cool. Looking forward to watching it. So I'm going to see it tonight. I'll give you guys a thought on it coming up tomorrow on the program. We're back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for a Tuesday's episode of the Bostonian.